In the rolling fields of Maryville, Missouri, on November 24th, 1888, a boy was born into a world of dirt and dreams. Dale Carnegie, originally spelled Carnegie, a name he'd later tweak for flair, came from humble stock. His father, James, wrestled pigs and ploughed fields on a failing farm. His mother, Amanda, stitched hope into a family scraping by during America's Gilded Age. Young Dale grew up skinny, awkward and poor, his clothes patched, his shoes worn thin. But beneath that farm boy exterior simmered a hunger, not for wealth but for something bigger, connection, influence, the power to move people. As a kid, Dale was shy, tongue-tied, the kind of boy who'd blush if you looked at him too long. But he had a spark. At school in Maryville, he stumbled into a revelation. Words could be his weapon. He joined the debating team at State Teachers College in Warrensburg, not because he was bold, but because he was desperate to belong. There he found his footing. I was hopeless at first, he'd later confess, but I kept at it, practicing in the barn, shouting over the mooing cows until I could hold my own. By graduation in 1908, he wasn't just a speaker, he was a force, winning contests, turning heads, planting the seeds of a future empire. The farm life wasn't for him. Dale tried teaching, then selling bacon, soap, lard, for Armour and Company in Nebraska. He was good at it too, charming ranchers with a grin and a story, raking in sales while others floundered. But the road was lonely, and the pay, while decent, didn't match his ambition. In 1911, with $500 saved, he quit, packed a suitcase, and headed to New York City, the beating heart of opportunity. He didn't know it yet, but he was chasing a destiny that would touch millions. New York chewed up dreamers, but Dale had grit. He landed at the YMCA on 125th Street, pitching a wild idea. Teach adults how to speak in public. The Y's bosses hesitated. Public speaking was for kids, not grown men. Dale begged, "Give me a chance. If it flops, I'll work for free." They agreed, setting him loose in a night class for a pittance commission. That first session, in 1912, was chaos. His students, businessmen, clerks, immigrants, sat stiff, terrified of their own voices. Dale, nervous himself, tossed the textbook aside. "Forget rules," he said. "Tell me something you're passionate about." One man rambled about his bakery. Another cursed a broken wagon. Dale listened, nodded, praised. By night's end they were hooked, and so was he. Word spread. Classes grew. Soon he was renting bigger rooms than theatres. He wasn't just teaching speech, he was teaching life. Make the other person feel important, he'd say, and do it sincerely. It was simple, but it worked. Men who'd stammered through sales pitches now closed deals. Wallflowers bloomed into leaders. Dale scribbled notes, honed his method, and by 1916 he was packing the Carnegie Hall. Yes, that Carnegie Hall. A coincidence he'd later lean into with a sly name change from Carnegie to Carnegie. He wasn't related to Andrew, the steel magnate, but the echo of greatness didn't hurt. The Great War came and went. Dale served briefly in the army stateside, sharpening his knack for rallying men. Back in civilian life he hit a wall. The YMCA gig plateaued. He needed more. So he wrote. In 1926 he published Public Speaking, a Practical Course for Businessmen, a dry title for a lively book. It sold modestly, but it was a stepping stone. The real lightning struck in 1936, after years of tweaking, teaching and listening to thousands of students. How to Win Friends and Influence People hit shelves, and the world tilted. He'd poured everything into it. Stories from his classes, lessons from history, quotes from Lincoln and Emerson, all woven with his Missouri warmth. "Don't criticize, condemn or complain," he wrote, a rule born from watching men bristle at blame. "Give honest and sincere appreciation," he urged, recalling how a kind word had once lifted him from despair. The book wasn't preachy, it was practical, a manual for navigating the messy human world. Publishers balked at first. Simon & Schuster printed a measly 5,000 copies. Within months, they couldn't keep up. It sold 250,000 in a year, then millions translated into dozens of languages. Even in the Depression's grip, people craved Dale's gospel of optimism. He didn't just write it, he lived it. Dale was no ivory tower guru. He toured, lectured, shook hands and remembered names. Once, in Chicago, a man thanked him, tears in his eyes. "Your book saved my marriage." Dale grinned, clapped him on the shoulder, said, "You did that, friend." His students became a legion. Executives, teachers, even presidents like Truman cited him. He built an institute, the Dale Carnegie Training, still thriving today, spreading his creed: human relations trump all. But Dale wasn't flawless. His first marriage to Lolita Bowers in 1921 crumbled by 1927. She couldn't handle his relentless drive. He remarried in 1944 to Dorothy Price Vanderpool, a partnership that stuck, blessed with a daughter, Donna. He battled insecurity too. Friends said he'd pace before speeches, muttering, "What if I bomb?" Yet he pushed through, proving his own advice: act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. By the 1950s, Dale's health faltered. Decades of travel, stress, and a smoker's cough caught up. On November 1st, 1955, at his home in Forest Hills, New York, he slipped away, felled by Hodgkin's disease. He was 66. The farm boy who'd once yelled over cows left a legacy louder than any barn could hold. How to Win Friends still sells today, over 30 million copies and counting. His courses endure, his name a synonym for charm and connection. Dale Carnegie didn't invent friendship, but he bottled its essence. He took a shy boy's longing and turned it into a lighthouse for the lost. "You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people," he wrote, "than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you." Simple, true, immortal. Here are 5 of his powerful works and 5 life-changing quotes. Imagine being able to walk into a room and instantly win people over, not by charm alone, but by genuine human understanding. That was Dale Carnegie's magic. He didn't write books, he built bridges between people. In a world that's more digitally connected but emotionally distant than ever, Carnegie's timeless insights on communication, confidence and influence are not only relevant, they're essential. In this journey, we'll explore his 3 most celebrated works, 2 hidden gems, and 5 quotes that have transformed lives. Whether you're building a business, healing relationships, or just trying to navigate life with more ease, these lessons are your toolkit. Let's dive in. How to Win Friends and Influence People, published in 1936, is often considered the holy grail of communication and influence. Carnegie outlines principles for dealing with people, from making them feel important to winning them to your way of thinking without manipulation. It teaches that people crave appreciation, not flattery. Criticism rarely changes behavior, understanding does. Listening is more powerful than speaking. Key takeaways: talk in terms of the other person's interests. Give honest and sincere appreciation. Application today. Whether you're managing a team or running a social media channel, these principles work wonders. Compliment someone's post sincerely or truly listen in a Zoom call and watch trust grow. How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, published in 1948. This book tackles the modern plague, anxiety. Carnegie interviewed countless people and doctors to gather proven methods for dealing with stress, self-doubt, and fear of the future. It teaches that we live in day-tight compartments. Ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? Then plan for it. Action is a powerful antidote to worry. Key takeaways. Our fatigue is often caused not by work, but by worry. Cooperate with the inevitable. Application today. Use these strategies during moments of overwhelm. If your to-do list seems impossible, break it down, focus on one day, and take action, even if it's small. The Quick and Easy Way to Effective Speaking, published in 1962, is based on Carnegie's public speaking courses. This book, well, it demystifies speaking confidently in front of others. It's not about being perfect, it's about being clear, passionate, and authentic. It teaches you to speak about something you deeply care about. Structure your talk like a story. Beginning, middle, end. Practice, but don't memorize. Speak from the heart. Key takeaways. There are always 3 speeches for everyone you actually gave: the one you practiced, the one you gave, and the one you wish you gave. Perfect for job interviews, podcasts, TikToks, and even voice notes to clients. Storytelling wins hearts, so let your message breathe through honesty and clarity. Little-known Lincoln the Unknown, published in 1932. A surprising departure from Carnegie's usual genre. This is a biography of Abraham Lincoln, but it's more than facts. It's about struggle, perseverance, and the emotional depth of a leader. It teaches that greatness often grows from failure. Empathy is a leader's secret weapon. The most inspiring leaders are often deeply misunderstood. Lincoln wasn't born a legend, he grew into one through sorrow and solitude. When imposter syndrome hits, think Lincoln. Your struggles aren't setbacks, they're steps in becoming who you are meant to be. Little known, The Leader in You, published in 1993, is a posthumous work inspired by Carnegie's teachings. This book brings leadership to the everyday person. It's about influence, not titles. It teaches that leadership is rooted in empathy and adaptability. Success is more about people skills than technical skills. Everyone can be a leader, at home, work or community. Key takeaways. Be genuinely interested in other people. Encouragement is oxygen to the soul. Apply these ideas to family life, group projects or passion-based communities. You don't need to be a CEO to lead, just start by lifting others. Top 5 Dale Carnegie quotes. Number 1. You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. Connection is built through genuine interest, not self-promotion. Use it today. In networking, start with curiosity. Ask thoughtful questions. Listen fully. Number 2. Remember, today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. Worry steals the joy of the present. Use it today. When anxiety creeps in, ground yourself in the now. Most of what we fear doesn't happen. 3. When dealing with people, remember you are not dealing with creatures of logic, but creatures of emotion. Human behavior is driven by feelings. Use it today. Whether in conflict or customer service, lead with empathy first. 4. Develop success from failures. Discouragement and failure are 2 of the surest stepping stones to success. Setbacks are setups for growth. Use it today. If something flops, reflect, adjust and keep going. That's real success. 5. People rarely succeed unless they have fun in what they are doing. Passion fuels performance. Use it today. Align your career or hobbies with what lights you up. Joy is a productivity hack. Timeless tools for a modern world. Carnegie's works aren't relics of the past. They're survival guides for the human experience. In a world hungry for connection, clarity and confidence, his teachings help us show up, not as perfect people, but as present ones. So whether you're leading a team or leading your own personal growth, remember, kindness is influence, presence is power, and every person you meet is a chance to practice the art of being human. Got a favorite Carnegie lesson? Share it in the comments.